Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Sunday. Happy being alive. Happy breathing. Happy just making it through another week of these mercurial, endless adventures. It's been quite a week. We've lost a lot of lives. People are being found having allegedly committed suicide from trees in all parts of the country. It's very scary. That so many people would be giving up on life like that right now. And B, if they are not actually giving up on life, what the alternative could be at these times when we have the Emmett Till bill being debated and fought about, and arguments back and forth between people like Republicans from Kentucky like Rand Paul and Democrats from Cali like Kamala Harris. When you have, these people who themselves have at one time or other stood on the same side of politics and the same side of quote unquote justice and the same side of quote unquote civil law and the same side of quote unquote criminal law, and you could argue they've both treated criminals in the same fashion. Just to see these two now be the individuals going toe to toe, so to speak, debating such a huge bill, the Emmett Till bill. For those who don't know, Emmett Till, it was just the 65th anniversary of the teenage boy from, I want to say Chicago. Please correct me if I'm wrong. His Ghetto points of view at gmail.com. His Ghetto points of view at gmail.com. I want to say he was from Chicago or some Midwesty, no more northern city where he was being raised under Jim Crow and dealing with discrimination and persecution, but it wasn't as palpable as it was in the South at that time. He was in a place where the racism that he experienced on a day-to-day basis wasn't as detrimental to his life as a young high school, or young junior high, young high school, or young middle school to high school kid. I don't want to say what his exact age might have been. Some reports you have 11, 12, some reports you have 14, 15. Either way, young man, super young man with tons and tons of life and promise ahead of him, and he was gunned, savagely beaten, drugged for miles till his face was left in a grotesque state, all because he allegedly whistled at a white woman who has now since come out and has said that actually may have never happened. So that's very heart-wrenching, and shouts to Emmett Till's mother, who is the true face of the movement of civil rights, because had she not been as brave and as strong as she was and let there be an open casket and gave the interview she gave and stood steadfast the entire time for as long as she did, there would be no civil rights movement. There may have arguably never been a march on Washington. There may have never been a bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama. There may have never been any of these actions by groups like SNCC if there hadn't been an Emmett Till, and if there had not been Emmett Till's mom, who was brave and strong and courageous and had the foresight and the presence of mind and the 20/20 vision and the clairvoyance almost and the premonitions to see that her son would be a trigger to help lead this country into its next epoch, its next evolution, its next era. And now we may have a similar thing going on with one George Floyd, where his loss, along with Breonna Taylor and Sean Reed. And I mean, the list is getting too long once again. This list is getting too long once again. You have gentleman who was inebriated allegedly and fell asleep in a Wendy's drive-thru or in a parking lot. I mean, the story is all over the place. And the long and short of it is, for being intoxicated in a Wendy's, he is now losing all his rights. And it's very unfortunate. It's very sad. It's very it's just heartbreaking what is happening to this country. It is heartbreaking what's happening in this country. Because some people would argue, well, this is what's been going on in this country since the beginning. So there's nothing necessarily happening to the country. Because some people, of course, would argue this has unfortunately been a part of this country's history for far too long. So I guess what is happening to the country is a awakening, quote unquote, allegedly. Though some people would argue that's a disingenuous statement as well. Because how can you be awakened from something that you clearly see is going on around you all the time? So a transformation, then I guess it'd be a good way to look at it. But what I personally see going on in this country is a lack of tolerance for the same old. What I see is people are waking up to the fact that they do not have to tolerate these actions for people. They do not have to tolerate this treatment from people. They do not have to tolerate these evil vibes. But it is what it is. I don't know what else to say except we will see a day when we'll look up, and whether that's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, we will look up one day, and these times will have hopefully been the start of something beautiful, the start of something needed, the start of something important to this country, and how it evolves and how it moves forward and how it transitions into the next phase of what America can be, and getting much closer to hopefully one day fulfilling that promise of being the land of the free, the home of the brave, and a beacon of hope and a lighthouse for all your tired, your huddled, your yearning masses. You're huddled masses yearning to be free. And you're tired, you're poor, you're huddled masses yearning to be free. I'm so sorry. As we get closer to actually representing those ideals with places like Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty are symbols for, and that New York has always tried to be at the forefront of, and places like Cali have always tried to be at the forefront of. Hopefully, these events bring us to times that we desperately need. And more grim news, unfortunately, it appears many of the officers in the Atlanta area are opting to take some days off, take some time off, take some leave, and allow some of the new policies in the Atlanta law enforcement areas to be sorted through. I personally don't know if that's the best idea with everything that's going on. I think that now more than ever we need to see law enforcement that is of sound mind and able-bodied and intelligent and respectful and cordial, and a pillar to the community. I think now more than ever, we need to see police that actually will be shining examples of what community policing can look like. I don't think this is the time for cops to remove themselves from the job, because it just comes across to some that those cops don't want to have to deal with changing policies. Now, of course, there are hundreds of thousands of law enforcement officers all across this country, and the overwhelming majority of those officers do an amazing job, and they are just there working to go and want to go home safely and want to make sure that they get home safely, and that their partner to the left of them and the right of them, or their partner to the left or right of them if they're riding around in a squad car on beat, just gets home safely as well. There is no job that you should do where you can't make it home safely at the end of your workday. So I can definitely understand their perspective. But I can also understand the other side of that coin, where people may wonder, well, if you took on the badge, you're taking on a commitment to the community. And regardless of how dangerous the job is, you must abide by your commitment to the community at all costs, at all times. And that needs to be your first priority, regardless of the race, creed, color, class, social status, financial status, citizen status of the individual that you're being assigned to aid, help, assist. You'll get some people will say, well, police are not therapists, police are not social workers, but they work in a pretty social work kind of environment. They're going into calls about domestic disputes. They're going into calls about children attacking their parents, parents arguing with children, parents attacking children, parents disciplining children, because sometimes it's not an attack, sometimes it's just disciplining and reprimanding. And I think sometimes we've lost the difference of that in a society where a vengeful child can call and get a parent arrested just because they're upset about petty things. And unfortunately, there are far too many examples of that. And yes, while we need to observe and respect the fact that children have rights, we also need to respect and observe the fact that parents should have the right to raise their children as they see fit, as long as they're not doing anything to harm, brutally maim, or impede the child from being able to grow academically, spiritually, socially, educationally, financially, etc. If they're making sure that the child gets the best of all those things, but from their view and perspective of life in the world, whether they be rural farmers in Kentucky or city slickers in New York or Houston, they should have the right to raise their children in the best way they see fit, as long as they're checking boxes, whether that be homeschooling for them, whether that be going to church, whether that be Saturday schooling, whatever their cultures and their ways of life and the level of resources they choose to exercise to exploit the talents of the child, and the best case scenario for the child, then why the heck would we not do anything but just cheer and applaud? Happy Father's Day, by the way. I say all that on this amazing, glorious Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers out there that have constantly put in the work, regardless of how people treated you in return, regardless of anything. Shout out to those who put in the work. You guys are amazing. You guys are the backbone of society. And along with your female counterparts, you have the ability to do something miraculous. And you and your queens together can change the world by creating a son who does something miraculous on this planet. I mean, there's nothing else that can really be said. Happy Father's Day. Salute to all the amazing fathers out there. Those that are still with us, those who have gone long ago but have left a legacy in their family. You can judge a gardener by his fruit. And if a man has passed away, but his family has continued on, and a strong legacy financially, spiritually, emotionally, just being a solid family unit, being there for one another, based on the lessons that he gave them. Those shining examples are few and far between these days, and we need more dads like you in every community. So I salute you, dads of every race, creed, and color, from here to Timbuktu, from Guam to Guyana, from Ghana to Gambia, to the ghettos of Harlem and back again. You dig me? I salute you all. I salute you all. I salute you all. North Korea, South Korea, if you a dope father doing your thing. Australia to Ecuador, if you a dope father doing your thing. Brazil to Brooklyn, if you a dope father doing your thing. I salute you. I shed love and light on your situation and your scene, and I hope you continue to do amazing things and lead that family that you've been blessed to steward into a positive future full of amazing things. Yeah, man, that's all I can say. It's your boy Phantm Phuego, just enjoying this amazing Father's Day, kicking it, enjoying the vibes, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Shout out to the team at Anchor.fm. Shout out to every place that plays dope podcast that you can catch me at. You know, I love what I do, and I love bringing this to you, to the people. And you guys are awesome for listening in, for tuning in. And a few short minutes, I'm going to have the boy King Belvy on, and we're going to have a dope conversation. He's going to let you guys know what he's up to. Artist extraordinaire, musician, animator, film composer, just a dope all around cat. Definitely a renaissance man in his own right, who's a lupus warrior, has battled cancer, and I'm going to let him share his story with you guys. And he's going to tell you how he's been able to battle through cancer, battle through lupus, and how it shaped his art form, and how the work that he does, and how it helps propel his entrepreneurial spirit to his entrepreneurial spirit, to say that 5 times fast. Entrepreneurial spirit, entrepreneurial spirit, entrepreneurial spirit, entrepreneurial spirit, entrepreneurial spirit. How it helps promote his propel his entrepreneurial spirit to the next level. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. This is his Ghetto Point of View, where I bring you the news, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his Ghetto Point of View. Thank you guys for rocking and vibing. Let's get into it. Cheers. What's going on, gang? What's going on? Unfortunately, the lupus warrior, cancer survivor, hip-hop extraordinaire, amazing artist, King Belvy, have forever king on everything. Definitely check his music out on SoundCloud, Audio Mac, YouTube. He's got several videos up. Check him out across a bunch of great platforms. Dude is working on a ton of music all the time. Amazing act. Is not going to be able to make it into tonight's show, but we will have him on very soon. Definitely thank him and appreciate him. I know he's super busy, so those things happen in the world of entertainment. Show is Phantm Phuego once again. Definitely appreciate you guys for checking out his Ghetto Point of View each and every week. Please tune in next week, where I will have the amazing Commander Flame on. It's gonna be a great show. Shout out to Anchor FM for letting us do what we do here. it's been a great ride so far, and I'm very, very happy for everybody that checks in and rocks with us and vibes with us. You guys are so amazing, and you keep me doing what I'm doing every week. See you next Sunday, where you get the news, views, previews, and reviews. Just a twist of my ghetto point of view. I'm Phantm Phuego. You guys are the greatest audience in the world. I'm getting out of here. Peace.